Hey guys, my name is Ravi Sharma and thank you so much for coming back to the channel, Search Property TV. I am the founder and buyer's agent here at Search Property, and it's been a few weeks since I've been uploading my videos, and it's purely because we've had an increase in inquiries into the buyer's agency, which is great, but is also a testament to what is expected to come in about 3 to 6 months. Now, this video is really about, more stimulus being printed, being provided to Australians, and how they are using that. And when I say they, the government is using that to really prop up the housing market. A lot of people are sort of thinking that in September, we've got this September cliff. We've got this time where it's the perfect storm. Bank loan holidays are going to finish. JobKeeper and JobSeeker is going to be off the table. And a lot of the people that I've been speaking to, they usually go, "Oh, look, Ravi, I'm probably not going to purchase until the crash." And I'm going, okay, so enlighten me. What does this look like for you? And they've said, oh, well, look, it's gonna crash by 30% because the media said so. And it's gonna happen because banks are gonna automatically, restart repayments. Now, people have lost jobs, but they're not gonna have JobSeeker and JobKeeper anymore. So we're pretty much gonna get to September, and then all the lifelines that the government's put in place is gonna be off the table. And I said, okay, so let's just look at this logically. If we were in a time where there was economic prosperity, we wouldn't have to cut rates, and we also wouldn't have to provide, fiscal stimulus, government spending to help prop up anything. So we clearly aren't in that. We are technically not in a recession yet, but we will be very soon. Now, the government has spent so much money, right, in trying to keep up the economy afloat during the pandemic and whatnot. So let's say they decide they're going to spend $5, right? As an argument's sake. So they decide we're going to spend $5, which we're going to magically create out of thin air, and now we're going to use that to pay people an income. So they're paying everyone like 1 cent each or whatever it is, and then they suddenly go, okay, cool. So all we have to do is really just pause the economy for 6 months or 12 months until the pandemic's passed. And then we're going to use the inflation that will come after this, because there's now an increase of money supply. And we're going to wait till the pandemic's gone, and then we're going to have 10 years of economic prosperity. It's going to be amazing economic growth, and all those companies that still, were kept alive through JobKeeper, providing jobs, they're all going to benefit. And us as the government are also going to benefit, because if they make more income, they are going to get taxed more. And so the cycle begins. Now, if I was the government, right, and I'm spending $5 to keep it afloat, and I've realized halfway through, because it's now been about 3 months, is halfway through, it's not going to be enough. The virus isn't going to go away, anytime soon, and people are still going to have, unemployment. They're not going to have jobs. So what do? Do we just wait till September and have everything fall off a cliff and avoid the thing that we're trying to avoid right now? No. Logically, you would want to spend an extra little bit to keep it afloat for however long possible. It doesn't make any sense for them to go and spend all this money up front and then only for September for the whole economy to come crashing down. Like, why would that benefit anyone? The government isn't stupid, right, in certain things that they do, but the people listening to media headlines and watching TV are the ones that unfortunately are going to lose out here, because the government's going to make money either way. And they're funneling all this money and stimulus through, government, the banks and things like that. But at the end of the day, the people that are sitting there going, oh no, there's a crash coming in September. Well, today it got announced that bank loan repayments are going to be extended. Well, these holiday repayments are going to be extended. So I think it's a case by case, but look, it's pretty much going to apply if you're on JobSeeker or JobKeeper and your industry has been affected. I don't think it's going to be too difficult to actually get on these schemes. But the portion of people that don't go back to work, they'll get back onto the home loan, holiday repayment scheme, and they'll continue to defer the payments. And then we've got JobKeeper and JobSeeker. Well, if you suddenly just pull that, suddenly people are still unemployed, right? So we're back to square one, because that's going to have a flow-on effect to the rest of the economy. Now the government doesn't want to do that. So what they do is, hey, July 23rd, we're actually going to have a revamp of what this income support looks like. And is there more income support coming? Yes. I'm going to put up a few articles here about what's actually happening and how this September cliff was never going to happen. If you were under the impression that in September we were going to have this massive crash, I hate to break it to you, it's not going to happen. And essentially, it's the government covering their own ass, and they've gone, well, look, if we're ready to spend $270 billion on buying airships or missiles and stuff, because apparently we're going to go to war with someone, they can afford to keep the economy afloat by providing jobs, a universal income, everyone's going to get paid, and I think there's a lot more support to come. Morgan Stanley's come out and said fundamentally the economy needs more stimulus, otherwise it's going to fall through the cracks, and the cracks are just getting wider and wider. I went to the bank last week, and I was looking at credit cards, right? And so I went there and I've spoken to him, and the ladies called over someone else, and these guys were home loan specialists, right? And so they come up and they're like, look, Ravi, you've got a few loans here. I don't know if it's a good idea that you want to extend your position. A lot of people have been saying September that it's all going to come crashing down. And I was like, okay, so these guys are stupid. They don't know what's going on, so that's fine. A bunch of clowns. But essentially, why as humans are we expecting that the market will crash? Well, it's not expectation, it's actually hope. It's hoping that the market comes down by 30%. Believe it or not, even though I've got a lot of property, I do hope that the market comes down by 30%. And the reason for that is because it's like going into a store and realizing everything's on sale by 30%. But what if I was to tell you that we're actually currently 50% less of a discount in terms of prices than we will be in 5 years' time? Suddenly, does your mind start changing and shifting? Do you really care if we go down by 5% in the next 6 months? No, you don't. And that's just human psychology. We are really hoping that, these properties that are propped up, $1 million, now we can buy them for 700,000. Wow, that's amazing. It doesn't work like that. It's supply and demand, guys. And yes, everyone's going on about how unemployment is going to, cause this cliff to occur. It's a load of shit. I am out there, I'm talking to agents, I'm doing deals and losing out on a lot of deals because there's people got stupid money out there and they're paying a lot more for these properties. So when I'm hearing media headlines and the news coming out and saying, oh, hey, the market's crashing, I'm like, well, you might be crashing in certain suburbs, but we're not even looking there. We're looking in areas where we've got actually stronger competition now more than ever. And they're usually in regional centers. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you would see a lot of content about why regional centers is the next, the growth area or hotspot, as many people like to call it. There are some really key areas that you want to be focusing on, especially with what COVID's brought about in terms of working remotely. Now, in terms of what the government says and what they actually do is completely different. So when I came out 2 months ago, and I've got a couple of videos here that I've linked, where I was basically saying exactly what's panning out, in the sense that JobKeeper and JobSeeker will get extended, the bank deferral system, they're going to have hardships, and they're going to have teams to really accommodate for those people so they don't actually have the economy collapse. These governments were the first ones who were saying, no, we're not going to have further support, we're not going to have more stimulus, we're not going to support the housing market. A load of crap, because it's clear, it's evident, they will do anything to keep the economy afloat, and that's what they believe is their job, right? So when I see those things happening, and they've done it to this level, they're going to continue doing it. And it just so happens that Melbourne goes into a lockdown. Hey, it's the perfect excuse for us to come out now and say that we can extend income support and we can extend these home loan deferral repayments. This will continue, guys, and we haven't seen the last of it. There's already expectations that there's going to be further support, and they've just announced that they're bringing forward, tax breaks that they were going to expect in 2 to 3 years, they're bringing it forward because they're like, whoa, it's COVID, we need to support the economy. There's a hidden agenda, and what I want you guys to really be understanding here is it's not just about what you know, the rubbish that comes out, you know, from the people on the Today Show or the Morning Show, whatever the crap it's called. It's not wanting to just listen and absorb all that information. It's about questioning it. We have so much information available to us that now if you're not going outside and actually questioning things and, you know, corroborating that sort of information, then you're gonna lose out. So guys, as always, it's a pleasure to, you know, bring these videos to you for free. All I ask in support is a thumbs up and a subscription. And if you know that someone else is going to benefit from this, or someone you've been talking to is sort of holding you back from investing, you can share this video with them. But for everyone else, thank you so much for joining me again. And I will become a bit more consistent with my uploads in the coming weeks. So I'll catch you guys in the next video.